Alright, what's up everybody? It's Derek Fields. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. This video we're going to talk about the Lions and they get the L. I predicted that they were going to beat the Seahawks and they did not. Man, we're going to take a look at ESPN.com and dissect this real quick. It's going to be about a 30-minute show. So if you don't like me, you don't like my thoughts, you don't want to watch, I suggest you tune in elsewhere. So anyway, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Now let's start to talk. So the Lions got off to a really good start. I got my notes over here. First quarter was a 39-yard pass to Marvin Jones where Matthew Stafford, he looked like he was going to get sacked, but he didn't. I thought he was going to get sacked. He didn't. Matthew was efficient. We'll talk about his one mistake later on in the game. But if you ask for my opinion, which you might not have, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. The changing point in this game was who else? Amir Abdullah's fumble. Okay? But before that, the Seahawks answered the Lions with a TD, looking at my notes over here, where Nevin Lawson gets toasted and they get the TD. We all know that the Lions' strong suit is their pass defense and stopping the run, even with Snacks. Snacks, he was getting ate up today. Now, they had 2 men on him, so in his defense, they had 2 men on him almost every play, so his reputation definitely precedes him. However, nobody else could do anything. Jared Davis, he was flying through there, but he was making tackles. He was missing them as well. But the secondary was kind of getting torched today, and the Lions' run defense was terrible. My man I forgot his name even. It's somewhere on here, but he was eating them up. The Lions had, going into this game, the 8th ranked defense, and Seattle's 2nd ranked defense. You could definitely see that 2nd ranked defense today. It was the real deal today. So we got 7-7 in the first quarter. I wrote this down too because I thought that the Bryan Cranston commercial was pretty good. The Ford commercial. I had to write it down because I like Bryan Cranston and he was a pretty good commercial. But like I said, second quarter comes 7-7, and Amir Abdullah is having a pretty good return, and I feel bad for him because he is probably a day away or a play away from being cut, and he hasn't been playing. I think the Monday night game, like when the Lions opened the season, they showed a picture of him on the sideline, and he just looked miserable. He looked so sad, like a sad little kid who just wanted to go outside, who was on punishment. And he's been getting playing time the last few weeks, but he comes out and he has a pretty good return. He actually is covering up the ball and he fumbles. Somebody's head hits the ball and it fumbled. Excuse me. I can't say if he would have kept possession because it was a hard hit. It was a clean hit. And yeah, my man just got the better of the ball, and he fumbled, and he lost the ball. Seattle recovers. It's like at the 30-yard line, and Abdullah he's laying on the ground, and he's like, man, I'm saying to myself, he's saying, this is it. I'm done. Tomorrow's my last day as a Detroit Lion. Today's my last day as a Detroit Lion. I felt so bad for him, but that, to me, is the play. We all know that the Lions can't stop the run, but this is the play to me that changed the complexity of the game. The Lions came out. They stopped Seattle on the first play. They were looking good. The touchdown pass to Marvin Jones was on point. Matthew avoids 2 people, 2 potential sack times, and he throws a dime to Marvin Jones Jr. From there is downhill. We moved to more in the second quarter, okay? And David Moore with the miracle TD. Now, I can't remember the play specifically, but I just wrote down miracle TD. I think he got past somebody. I forgot if it was Nevin Lawson, Quandre Diggs, somebody. Wait a minute. What's 31? Tease Tabor. We definitely. I think we missed Jamal Agnew. I'm not even gonna lie, but anyway, he gets the TV. The TV. Obviously, I want to watch some TV. He gets the TV. The Lions go up, or I'm sorry, Seattle goes up, 14-7. Now at this point, I am getting nervous. I'm like, I don't know, guys. The Lions are getting crunched and munched on the run. It's not looking too good. I'm not sure. This isn't looking good. So the Lions start is pretty good. They get a screen pass to LeGarrette Blount for 24 yards. I think they were backed up at this time. They were real deep in their own territory, and they were pretty backed up, and they get a nice little screen pass to LeGarrette Blount. But here's another thing that changed the complexity. First of all, Abdullah and the fumble, that was to me the game changers. When momentum is going, especially in football. Basketball, you can pick up momentum right away and it can swing so tough. But in football, it's a whole nother thing. One play is enough to change the whole game, the momentum, and from that, and this play was the fumble. But the Lions once again get burned by the catch rule. Now we know that the NFL changed the catch rule this year to, in my opinion, a better play call. However, what wouldn't have been a catch last year was a catch this year. You no longer have to survive the process to the ground. You have 2 feet and a third foot counts as a football move, which is like, what? But I forgot who it was that caught the ball, but he takes a step. So they say possession 2 feet, and now you no longer have to survive the ground. So the Lions got kind of shafted on the other side of it, and they got shafted today. But then this is the first time this season I've actually seen what the new catch rule is, like the complexity of it or the lack of complexity. So that, I forgot how far that went, but we get to the third quarter. So I think the Lions were down 7-14. We get to the third quarter, and the Lions got ate up by the run so much that when they did a play action, Russell Wilson did a play action pass to Dixon, and he was wide open. I can't remember if that resulted in a touchdown. I probably could bring it up here. Let's see. Man, I'm just so sick. I'm so sick. Seahawks. Nope, don't you do it. Okay, good. All right. Don't you play that ad. All right, where we at? Second quarter. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't say here. So I guess it didn't go for a touchdown actually. But he was wide open because the run was killing the Lions. So they all been on, I think the two safeties were up in the middle, and they got burned by the run. So burned by the run, which resulted in a burn with the play action pass. So the Lions kind of stepped it up a couple plays later with the goal line stop, which I thought was cool. And then they got out of that situation with the screen pass to Kerryon Johnson for 20 yards or so. There was another play after that. Let's talk about Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson, everybody's been saying this. Every Detroit YouTuber that I see talk about the Lions, they're saying Kerryon Johnson needs to get the ball. And I have to agree with them. We didn't draft him for any reason. Now, LeGarrette Blount come in a, 1-year deal, and I don't know. I don't think he's back next year. I don't, because he just doesn't have the same production. He doesn't have the production. He doesn't have the production that we need. I mean, he definitely can get a yard or two, and so every now and then he'll break a 10-yard, 15-yard or whatever. But Kerryon Johnson is definitely the guy of the future. He's definitely the man, and I am a Kerryon Johnson believer. Carry on, Kerryon, because I am a Kerryon Johnson believer. Not say that I wasn't before, but I never watched him before he became a Lion, so I didn't really know much about him. But he stiff armed my man. I mean, he didn't just stiff arm. He told him to get off me. Then he shook another guy, got the first down. Amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, we're moving on through the game. Third quarter still. And we've got the weirdest call that I've seen in a long time. So, it's a penalty called on the Lions. The Lions, the Seahawks declined the penalty. But Matt Patricia challenges the catch, and it wound up being no catch. But since they had already declined the penalty, we're like, well, what does that mean? So come to find out today that it doesn't matter. They got the penalty anyway. So it's like, since it was no catch, you were thinking, well, what's going to happen? Even Chris Spillman said, well, how does that work? So turns out that it didn't matter. They wind up, the penalty was enforced because the catch wasn't a catch. But if it was a catch, the Seahawks chose to decline it. So super weird, super weird. So at this point, I want to say it's like 20. I forgot if it's 21-28 or to 7 or something like that. So this is the part that really starts to frustrate me about. And I thought I was going to do more looking at the depth chart, but I'm not. So I apologize for that. But what frustrates me is that the Lions, they get no respect in the NFL, none whatsoever. The last 2 weeks on NFL Game Day Prime, listen, they're not even good enough to get highlights. Now, every week they gloss over a bunch of teams. They group all the games together in this montage of games. It's called We Play for This or We Live for This, something like that. So the Lions made We Live for This. That was it. They weren't worthy enough to have actual highlights. They don't even talk about the Lions on Game Day Prime. They don't talk about the Lions, period, in the NFL. I'm sorry, it is hot. These lights are really hot, and the heat is on in my house, so it's like a double whammy. So this game was huge. Now, let's look. So what I was going to say was Matthew Stafford is moving down the field and, oh my goodness, throws a pick. Now, had he actually made that pass and turned that into a touchdown, it would have been, I want to say 14-21 or something like that. I can't remember where the box, I should have wrote that down, but I didn't. So the Lions had their chances. They got the ball back after the first half. They went down, and they could have scored early in the fourth quarter. I think it would have been 21-14 at that. So they had opportunities, but their red zone offense is terrible. So Matthew Stafford throws a pick. And then last but not least, the Lions. Now, listen. The Lions have terrible run defense. Not even Snacks helped out this week. But how fitting is it that, oh boy, came across this. How fitting is it that the Lions get ate up by the punter of the Seattle Seahawks, runs from the back of the end zone. He runs along the white line for about 20 yards. Runs out of the end zone for another 10, and then picks up 11 when he comes out of the end zone. What is going on? Now, yes, it wasn't up the middle. It was a fake, but Pete Carroll is known for this stuff. The Lions could have, they would have had to still kind of pull off a miracle to win, because I think they were still down by 2 at this point. But come on, man. You know that show? Come on, man. That's what this was. So, how bad was today's loss? All right. Believe it or not, the Lions were actually, they had the Lions winning this game. How bad was this? So, Seattle, 413 yards to Detroit's 331. Detroit had 21 first downs, but they had 3 turnovers, and they were behind by 10 minutes in the possession time. Okay. How bad was this loss? Really bad. Oh, nope. I don't want that. Why do I say that? Well, currently Green Bay is winning. It looks like the Rams got a sack on Aaron Rodgers. Otherwise, there's no way they're going to have 2 points. Chicago won, so they actually leapfrogged the Lions. I want to say it would have been a tie. The Lions could have been in last place anyway. I don't know, because they would have had the same record. Whether Green Bay wins or loses, Green Bay is still probably in second place, because if they lose, they'll be 3-3-1, and then Chicago will go from last to second in a day. Minnesota plays later tonight. Minnesota is safe with the number 1 spot this week. And guess who they play next week? The Detroit Lions. I think it's on the road. Lions coming off a loss, a really bad loss. Yeah, not too sure that's a winnable game anymore. I'm sorry. Lions have what it takes, but they just, I don't know. So Minnesota's safe in first place. Green Bay wins or loses. Thank you. If Green Bay wins or loses, doesn't matter. They're going to stay. If they lose, then they're going to go to third place. If they win, they're going to stay in second. And so for another week, the Detroit Lions are last place. They have dropped to number 13 on the conference standings. They went from 9 to 13. Teams ahead of them, immediately ahead of them, take up the last Dallas Cowboys. I believe that's 12. Tampa Bay at 11. Atlanta Falcons all of a sudden at 10. The Philadelphia Eagles at 9. Seahawks go to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do it like this. Rams at 1. Saints at 2. Washington at 3. Washington at 5 and 2. Adrian Peterson. Let's go. Man. Carolina Panthers at 4, Minnesota Vikings at 5, Green Bay Packers at 6. That completes the playoff picture at Green Bay. Chicago at 7, Seattle at 8, Philadelphia at 9, Atlanta at 10, Tampa Bay at 11, Dallas at 12, Detroit Lions at 13, with the Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, and the New York Giants, the only 3 teams behind the Detroit Lions in the NFC, period. All of a sudden, the Lions go from potentially first place next week, number 9 spot, to maybe, I don't know, maybe the number 6 or 7. They drop 3 or 4 spots to 3 and 4. And it's only 3 teams worse than them. And guess what? They got beat by one of them. The San Francisco 49ers have 1 win. And guess who that win is against? So, you know, it could have been worse. The Lions win before the bye week. They win after the bye week. I forgot what it feels like to lose, because we hadn't lost in a month, 3 weeks or a month, something like that. And it's terrible. It's terrible. And just how crucial this game was. I mean, 1 win is all it takes. This game was crucial. And the Lions come out and they don't do anything about it. Amir Abdullah, what's going to happen with him? Is he on? Is he staying? Is he playing anymore? Not sure. The Lions got to make something happen. Tease Tabor, Nevin Lawson. I can't even say nothing after that. They got to make something happen, because the Lions are not going to do anything with those 2 people. Darius Slay, didn't even hear his name today. Quinn, you heard his name, but it was on a bad play. What happens? So let's look at the Lions' next 3 games. Let me see something. Okay, we're winding it down. Next 3 games: Vikings, Bears, and Panthers. So the Lions could be 3-7. They could actually be 3-8. So let's do another prediction. Okay, let's close out this video. Maybe it's not going to be quite 30 minutes, but let's close out this video with a prediction, because I'm irritated, of the Lions' next couple of games, or the rest of the season. Vikings, Bears, Panthers, Bears, Rams, Cardinals, Bills, Vikings, Packers. Now let's take out the any given Sunday scenario. Let's base the Lions off of what's going on today in the rest of the NFL and what the Lions showed up and did today. They're at the Bears, they're at the Cardinals, they're at the Bills, they're at the Packers. They've got their next home game is against the Panthers. I was thinking about going to that one, but they got 2 at home: Panthers, Bears. They go to LA. No, I'm sorry. They got 3 home games: Panthers, Bears, Rams. Then they go to Arizona. They go to Buffalo. Then they come back. Their last home game is against the Vikings. And then they go to Lambeau, 12/30, 2018. All right, so let's close this video out. My prediction: Week 8 in the books for the Detroit Lions. Vikings play tonight. So without seeing them against the Saints. Now, remember, I have them losing this game, the Vikings. Well, I'm going to say they win because I said it last week. So they beat Minnesota. I'm going to be a straight Lion fanboy right now. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Bears. Woo! They beat the Panthers. They lose to the Rams. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Bills. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Packers. Fanboy, baby. Yeah, I'm not sure. Now, remember that the Lions were predicted to win 4 games. I had heard that Mike Valenti has them winning more than 8 games before today's game. So I don't listen to him ever since Terry Sharp left. I think it's Terry Sharp. Doesn't sound right. Ever since Terry left, don't really listen to him. I caught into that show one time too. It was pretty cool. But I'm curious to know what he's going to say. If anybody watches this video and heard that, what he has to say, please let me know. I don't have time, nor do I feel like listening to that man. So, man, bold prediction. It's not looking too good. Fanboy prediction. The Lions win them all. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad right now. Charging down the field, the Lions did they yield. They could have got it done. Man, they should have won. But man, they laid an egg. I want Abdullah's head. What they gonna do? The fans, they gonna boo. What's up, everybody? I'm having fun, man. You gotta do something. Anyway, it's your boy, Derek P. Fields. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna try and do this every Sunday. Lions Weekly Breakdown. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Give me a thumbs up either way. And I appreciate every last one of you guys. Shout out to all my Detroit Lions fans, all my Detroit Lions YouTubers. Enjoy everybody's content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Derek Fields is out. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a fantastic day and a fantastic show, guys. When you're talking to a microphone like this, you've got to do the head back and forth like this. That's the only way you do it on the radio. Yeah. And just remember, that is correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking. Shout out. Let me know if you know where that's from.